This is a webinar by the North Florida Council of the Boy Scouts of America on RiverQuest. This webinar is being recorded. Well, I think we're going to wait a few minutes here as we're having people check in to our webinar tonight.
Yes, it's a beautiful day here on stjohnsriverbase.org here at St. John's River Base. And looking out at Doctor's Inlet, it looks beautiful today. The sun's kind of starting to go down. Wonderful place. You know, when I first came to Florida, one of the things that I first noticed in the North Florida Council is what a beautiful, beautiful piece of property we have right here on Doctor's Lake.
It certainly is beautiful. I've always enjoyed being here at the river base.
Yeah, I think that a lot of our volunteers truly appreciate their opportunity to be here, and I love being in the outdoors anyway.
Well, as people are checking in, I hope they will go ahead and record their comments in our chat room, as well as letting us make sure that you can hear us okay. If you can hear us okay, please type 1 into the chat line.
So all you need to do is just to hit 1 into the chat, and that kind of tells us that you're here and that also that you can hear us okay. And sounds like Eli's over there getting a lot of our stuff, and we'll introduce everybody on our webinar in just a minute. We just got to give people a couple minutes to get in here. You know, a lot of people say the best time of day to be here at River Base is early in the morning and get some of those great sunrises out over Doctor's Inlet or Doctor's Lake.
Well, that's super.
Maybe there's not as many trains early in the morning. I don't know, but
maybe that's it.
Maybe that's it. But we always have great sunrises here.
Well, it looks like we're getting a few people on board, which is super.
Awesome, awesome. Well, and I think that if you have a good time on a webinar and learn some good stuff, I will tell you that it is being recorded, and so that some of the people will be able to watch it later on. It will be on the stjohnsriverbase.org website, and they'll be able to check it out later too.
Well, I think we're going to go ahead and get started now so that we can proceed and let you know what it all is going on. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Brian?
Hello, I'm Brian Patterson. I'm the Support Services Director for the North Florida Council of Boy Scouts of America.
And I'm Karen Kircher with the Executive Board of the North Florida Council, and we're here tonight with Eli Rivera, the North Florida Council Program Director. Oh, there he is. Hey, Eli. Good to see you. Who is on our live chat line. He's here to take your questions as we proceed. We also are going to be asking you some questions as we go, just to make sure everybody's paying attention. And for that, in addition to the great patch that you all have gotten.
Everybody likes patches.
We'll be getting this patch for participating tonight. For the first 50 who signed up for our webinar, we have a great Nalgene bottle with the RiverQuest logo on it, thanks to Eli.
Well, you know, if you're going to get a water bottle, you may as well get the high-quality materials. I think it does make a difference to get a better water bottle, and these are genuine Nalgene, the best there is, and they're BPA-free.
Well, thanks to Eli for finding those for us.
We are here today to tell you some exciting news about our North Florida High Adventure program, RiverQuest. RiverQuest was created in 2010, and our first adventure was in July of that year. Since then, we've been testing the concept. We have a pretty good model. With our executive board supporting us, we built a unique custom-designed raft, christened the Osprey, and have purchased several sleek river touring kayaks for RiverQuest. A lot of great things on RiverQuest. We have both the raft and the kayak. Now, we want everybody to stay engaged with us during our webinar, so we have a few opportunities to answer questions, just like you said, Karen, in the chat room. The first person to answer the questions correctly will get a prize. I think the prize is a RiverQuest hat, St. John's River Base hat. Is that right?
That's right, and that's in addition to the items that you've already gotten that we showed you of the patch and the bottle. So this is something in addition.
Okay, to get us started, we'll have a really, really easy question, and Eli is going to yell us whoever got the question correct first. So get ready to answer on the chat line, okay? In what year was the Boy Scouts of America founded? What year was the Boy Scouts of America founded? Eli?
Yes, we do. We have a correct answer from Wendy. And the answer is 1910. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Wendy. She gets a
RiverQuest hat.
RiverQuest hat. That's awesome. Okay, now that we've got everybody's attention, we want to direct you to our redesigned website at www.stjohnsriverbase.org.
So I hope everybody's having a chance to see our River Base website. Is brand new, redesigned. I wanted to go over a few features of the website with you. As we said, pretty simple email or URL address, stjohnsriverbase.org. Not only does it have information about the river base itself, but it also talks about two of our major programs that are based here, and that's Aquatics Camp, with a link that goes directly to the Aquatics Camp's registration sites, as well as RiverQuest, and a great video. If you have not looked at the video that we have here, some of you may have used that to opt into our webinar programs. We also have another video, and rather than trying to show that to you from here, we would like you to go to our website, click on this. This is Bob Candler. He and Andy Sable from North Florida Council were the ones who helped design the RiverQuest raft that we're going to be talking about tonight. And they are the ones that came up with the design. Now, they didn't build it. We had it built by professionals, but they certainly came up with the ideas of it. Other things that you'll find on the River Base website is information about all the different activities that are scheduled for River Base, including our first aid training and wilderness first aid training. But we also have some very specific information about RiverQuest adventures that are coming up, and so we want you to go there, check this out. There's more information about our programs here. You can actually click on here to go to register. This is a great way. It takes you to the nfcscouting.org websites to register, so it's a direct link to the online registration, which is one of the best ways to register. But there's lots of information here on the website, so we really encourage you to go and check this out. We have our news and blog information, as well as you can contact us via there and leave comments for us, and we hope to be following that in the future as well.
Okay, the real reason we're here today is to tell you about RiverQuest. Just imagine, I can look out over the St. Johns River here and see the Doctors Lake Bridge, and I can see the Doctors Inlet, and I can imagine traveling downriver aboard a 26-foot by 17-foot open deck raft. We have a brand new shade canopy that will span the width of the deck and cover about 2/3 of the length, and I think that'll really be great. I really think we really have a special raft, and I think all the scouts will truly enjoy it. We got a lot of really good reviews from our previous trips. Okay, I think we're ready for another question, okay? And we want to keep people involved. We want to make sure people are awake during this and see if somebody else can win a hat. So why don't we ask one more? Let's see. This is an easy one, okay? Where is the river base located? Okay, Eli, give me a symbol when somebody's got it. Somebody type that into the chat. Anybody got it?
We got an answer.
Who is it?
I got Corinne Heller.
All right, Corinne Heller got the answer.
Congratulations.
It's Chocody.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It's Chocody. It's 2513 Doctors Lake Drive in beautiful Orange Park, Florida.
Well, we don't just have a raft, you know, we also have several really sleek RiverQuest touring kayaks. These are cockpit-style kayaks, and what could be better than spending some time on the river, paddling, going upriver to the St. Johns and its tributaries, into calmer water, and into places where time seems to be forgotten. RiverQuest is really all about making friends. It's about cooking what you catch and learning the ways of the river and having an opportunity to discover the wild.
It's paddling back in time, exploring streams off the beaten path, carrying your gear aboard your kayak, and hanging out with your friends. Imagine Huck Finn would go crazy on this raft. By the way, we've got another question to see if everybody's paying attention. So, what year was the very first RiverQuest adventure? What year was the first RiverQuest adventure? Let's see if somebody gets the answer right. If you get the wrong answer, you're not going to win the prize.
That's the right answer.
Okay, what is the answer, Eli?
1 second.
And who got it? Make sure they got the answer right.
Corrine won again, 2010.
2010 is the correct answer. Okay, let's see. Somebody else. Let's see if
She already went ahead. Do we want to give this to the next person?
well, yeah. Did we have a second person that dropped one in there?
Is Mr. James Bryant.
James Bryant. That's great. Awesome. Well, we'll make sure he gets a hat also. Okay, because these items also advertise what we're doing here at St. John's River Base, and we're really proud of the logo that we have, the osprey, and how that integrates into our patch. We're proud of what we're doing here.
Well, when you...
I have a question for someone.
Oh, we have a question. Yes, Eli. What kind of question do you have?
I did like to know if paddleboarding is part of the scouting experience at RiverQuest.
Well, right now we have a possibility of using power boats as support for our vessels, but we're not primarily doing our RiverQuest using the power boats.
But you also mentioned paddle boards, is that right? Paddle boards. Okay, so one of the weekend adventures that we have coming up is geared towards earning the Stand-Up Paddleboard Award as part of that program. We also have the flexibility. We own quite a few power boards here, paddle boards. Don't want to get my terms wrong.
Stand-up paddleboard.
Stand-up paddle boards. We own quite a few stand-up paddle boards, and if that is an activity that the scouts that are going on a particular RiverQuest adventure are especially interested in, it's pretty easy for us to put those aboard the raft or drag them behind because part of what we want to do is to be plenty flexible. Okay?
And that's really the name of the game, is that flexibility, because part of RiverQuest is all about recreation. And there are any number of things that you can do for recreation that involve our RiverQuest programs, whether it's fishing, alligator hunting, as we mentioned, stand-up paddleboard, going out and doing some geocaching ashore. There's lots of different things that you can do for recreational activities. But we also have a lot of culture that's very steeped in the St. John's River Basin area, and so you get plenty of an opportunity to go out and see some of these things.
We have various Native American cultural sites, lots of different settlements, different plantations, lots of places to go along the river. We also have worked out admittance to tours of various commercial activities.
And these include such things as some of our shipping and Jacksport activities, as well as tours of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the stadium area, and other manufacturers that are centered around the river.
I know that visit to Everbank Field and the stadium was a real highlight of the trips that we've done so far. So, I think they had lunch at the stadium. Is that what I understand?
They did. In fact, in one of the RiverQuest groups, we're actually eating in the same room, the same lunch area with the players at one point, and they also said it was some of the best meals they had on the trip. I don't know about their own cooking, though. But we also want you to get some experience with environmental adventures while you're doing RiverQuest.
Such as learning about the river from the St. John's River Keepers, Jacksonville University, and various governmental agencies.
Aren't there some special things that the Jacksonville University and University of North Florida are doing for us?
Well, we have a special program from a professor at Jacksonville University where he talks about all the great white sharks that are off the coast of North Florida and has a program on great white sharks. And a lot of the young people that have gone last year's trip talked specifically about that presentation, that was a real highlight.
That sounds cool. I've always been interested in marine biology, so that would be something I know I would really like.
You know, with all the history that's also part of the St. Johns River, all the Jacksonville and everything that we've done in this community has all been centered around the river. You'll be immersed in the historical adventures.
There's so many different things. We are surrounded by forts and state preserves, historical trails, and there are plenty of opportunities to explore the river throughout time. But we can't forget the national defense adventures that may also be out there for us. We actually are part of that in the river. It is a central part of the national defense of the area. We're neighbors to the U.S. Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard. And, you know, we partner with them to demonstrate how the rivers are involved in supporting our nation. But, you know, before we talk about some specifics about our RiverQuest adventures, I have another question to see if everybody's been paying attention. So I know we've gotten some good answers from some people already. I'd like to see if we have some new players in our game. What water vessels are currently in use for our RiverQuest programs?
All right, let's see if we can get an answer, Eli. Got anybody? Oh, this is a tough one. Wait, who you got? Who you got?
Congratulations, Mr. Sean Kern. You have won this question. He has kayaks and rafts.
Good job, Sean. Maybe I'll see you Saturday at the gate, all right?
Sounds good. All right.
We commence our 2016 RiverQuest Adventures by offering several weekend trips for either kayak and raft. Some of these dates are themed to include working on a merit badge or a specific activity. I might throw in there that our environmental science program is full. Oceanography merit badge is getting close to full, and we do have some openings there. Somebody mentioned stand-up paddleboarding. We do have one that's oriented towards the stand-up paddleboarding award with our own instructor, Justin Kordenbrock, that goes May 6th through the 8th if you're interested in that. Typically, you arrive with your crew on Friday night. You have an orientation and training session for the vessel you'll be using. Spend the night in our permanent tents at River Base, and then embark on your vessel on Saturday morning, cruise the river to a nearby destination. You spend the night in a backpacking tents provided by us, enjoy the day-and-a-half adventure, and then return to the River Base on Sunday. Now, I'll also add, if we do have some members of the LDS Church that want to have some RiverQuest adventures, we're glad to work with them, and we do have Saturday night returns so that they can be back to where they need to be on Saturday night to be at church on Sunday.
I think we have a couple of questions. What do we have, Eli?
All right. Jason Young asked, has the water levels of the St. Johns River affected past river trips, or could the water levels affect future trips or expansions?
Okay, I'll answer that question best I can, and understand that on the RiverQuest trip, we have a licensed captain, and the licensed captain always, at any time, based on water levels, weather, or anything like that, they always have the right to decide to make decisions on what the best route is and the best actions to take there. You know, the St. Johns River is controlled by tides, and so in the part of the river that we're traveling on, the water levels in the river really don't change too drastically much, or we generally are able to predict where they're going to be at any time of day. Okay, got another question. Eli, go right ahead. Jump right in.
All right. Mr. Keener asked, what is the capacity for the weekend trips?
This one, Karen, go right ahead.
What we are doing is we are taking 6 youth and 2 adults for the weekend trips, and that also happens to be the same capacity that we are doing for the week-long trips as well.
And there's a reason behind that. That's kind of set up with our relationship with the Coast Guard and the type of vessel that we have, but I can assure you that the capacity of the vessel itself is way, way higher than that, but this is the way that we've set it up with the Coast Guard and the licensing that we have for the vessel and the licensing of the captain. Any other questions before we keep rolling? Okay, let's roll on ahead. During the summer, we offer week-long RiverQuest dates that offer the opportunity to travel farther upstream, see more of the river, and experience surrounding adventures. If you're rafting, we have a great lineup of activities, presentations for you all to enjoy. You can see all the weeks up there. You can sign up for any weeks that you want. You know, we mentioned the one with the great white sharks. The other one that's really popular is the gator trapper comes on board, and I understand he's a real character, and the scouts really enjoyed having him talk about how they trap gators.
Yeah, we should be clear about that. We don't have the scouts trapping gators. We just talk about it.
Tastes like chicken. No, it's all right. Okay, and if you're kayaking, we set up your logistics for a fun-filled week of paddling and exploring the waterways of the mid and upper reaches of the St. Johns River.
Now, as with anything else, there are some required documentation and training that you have to complete in order to participate. And those are some very standard things. First of all participants, scouts, and leaders must be registered with the Boy Scouts of America. All participants need to have health and medical records. If it's a week long, they need to have parts A, B, and C. For the weekends, they need parts A and B. Also, because you may be traveling farther upstream than what help may be more than an hour away, we do want to have the proper first aid care aboard the raft and or with the kayaks. So one adult needs to have a certification as CPR and AED for adults, as well as a wilderness first aid. And all participants, including the scouts and the adults, need to complete weather hazards training online, and all adults need to complete safe swim defense and safety afloat. Both of these can be taken online at www.my.scouting.org, the National Scouting online e-learning center. Also, if you're kayaking or canoeing, we want to have one adult leader who has had paddlecraft safety, and that is offered here at the river base. We also offer the CPR courses in wilderness first aid at river base as well. And all participants, including adults and youth, need to have completed the BSA swim test. That is completed at river base as part of check-in at the time of your river base or RiverQuest adventure. So those are, boy, all that fine print that we need to make sure everybody is aware of when they're coming on the program.
Well, you know, I would want to make sure that before a scout signs up to go on the trip, that he knows for sure that he can pass the BSA swimmer test. And if you can't, most scouts, if they work a little bit in the water and train some, can make sure that they're ready to pass off that test, because it's an important part. You don't want to get there and then have to have struggles to get that part of it completed.
That's right.
We do have a question that somebody asked that we're going to get to, and it segues right into what we're talking about. The question is, how are the scouts decided as to who gets to go? And I would say at this point, and some of the scouts that they were talking about may want to do the week-long adventure instead of going to summer camp. The way the scouts are decided is who gets to go. It's first paid, first served.
That's right.
So if you get your $150 deposit in for the week-long adventure, $100 deposit in for youth, that holds your spot, and the remainder is due by May 16th. But we're going to jump back up here a little bit on this page. The total cost for the weekend RiverQuest Adventures is only $30 for the raft trip and $40 per person. That includes your food. And you're going to want to sign up for these adventures now because they are filling up. You know, that's pretty cheap for a weekend, including food. And, you know, we got to pay for the gas and other things like that. For the week-long RiverQuest Adventures, the cost is $300 for youth and $200 for adults. And like we talked about, the way you make your deposit is to put down 50%, $150 per youth, $100 per adult upon registration. The remainder is due by May 16th of 2016. You can sign up at stjohnsriverbase.org, or you can contact us at the office and we can help to make sure you get signed up. We only have a few more questions for our prizes, so let's see if we can get one more question and see if somebody can win another prize.
Before we do that, we do have a couple of questions.
People have asked questions of us. Okay, let's see if we can.
So for the week-long program, what provisions or plans have been made in the event of bad weather?
Okay, I appreciate you asking that program. A couple things. The first thing we have is that we do have the canopy that's going to cover the width of the thing, and 3/4 of the way down, but sometimes the weather, lightning, those kinds of things, we get off the river. That's one of the reasons we have a licensed captain on the boat. Last year, Cleveland Gray was our captain, and Cleveland always had a plan, no matter where he was on the river, of what his plan was if bad weather approached. Also, they're constantly monitoring radar and other things related to weather. Captains have a way to know how to handle these situations. You know, we've had a couple different RiverQuest trips, and each time they have had bad weather, but they've always made it to a safe place before that weather came on.
And they're going to be required to have a VHF radio with them. That's, again, one of the Coast Guard requirements. And so we make sure that they have all the safety equipment that they may need. And the St. John's is a pretty friendly river. They can pull off almost any place and seek shelter as needed.
And again, an experienced captain that knows the river well will know the places that they can go for safety about at any point they are on the river.
Great. Well, we had another question. Someone wanted to know about the cost of training in order to prepare for this. I mentioned CPR training. We offer that at River Base and for $20, which is about as cheap as you can get that anywhere. And we also offer wilderness first aid training. We have some coming up the first weekend in April. We have a course coming up, and it's $95 for the wilderness first aid training. And if you need, you have to have your CPR certification in order to take that. So we do offer that the Friday night before the course. That's the 8th, 9th, and the 10th is that weekend. The paddlecraft safety class, what is that cost?
That's $35 if you don't already have the book. It's a lot cheaper than that if you do have and that includes the BSA Aquatic Supervision book, which is quite an expensive book. If you already have the book, if you've taken Swimming and Water Rescue, if you own that book already, then I think it's only $15.
Those are the only other costs for training. The other trainings are all no cost to them.
Eli, was there another question on there? Just jump right in there, Eli. Tell us what you got.
Okay. The question is, any chance on allowing younger scouts, or are the age requirements always enforced?
The question was age requirements.
That's correct.
Now we said the minimum age that we take on the raft and the kayak programs is 14 years of age. At this point in time, those are our requirements.
We do have some opportunities on different activities that we do where we have some short cruises on the raft, and it's not against the rules to have somebody on the raft to kind of get a taste of it, but to actually go on an adventure, you do need to be 14.
Was there any other questions, Eli?
All right. Now we need to ask a question.
We
That's
got a
right.
question.
Okay. I've got the question, and let's see if somebody gets the answer. Okay, and it needs somebody that hasn't answered a question already, so that way we can give away another hat. Let's go. Let's see. Where can you go online to find out more information about RiverQuest? What's the website to go online to get more information about RiverQuest? Let's see if somebody's got it. Who's paying attention out there, Eli?
Mr. Randy Foley.
Okay,
Randy Foley. All right.
Good.
St. John's River Base?
Great volunteer.
stjohnsriverbase.org.
Very good. So stjohnsriverbase.org is the website, so we encourage you all to go check that out. But what we really want you to do is discover the wild on RiverQuest, and we ask you, are you ready for the challenge?
You know, if anybody has any additional questions after this is over, we're going to be online and monitoring the chat line for a little while. You can also email myself, brian.patterson@scouting.org. You can call us on our main office number, 904-388-0591. We did already answer the question about age. We also had some other questions about some things going on related to RiverQuest. One was, do we handle special needs scouts in our RiverQuest program? And the best way I can answer that is that in the North Florida Council, we feel like we've had excellent experiences working with special needs scouts, and we would welcome special needs scouts to participate in the RiverQuest program. When we're working with special needs scouts and their families, we find that as we work with the leaders in that troop or crew, and we work with the parents, they're really, really helpful and really, really great about helping us to find out what we can do to best suit everybody's needs and how, just to be honest with you, how we can all have fun and how we can all be safe. So that's kind of how we handle that one. Any other questions we need to address?
I don't know. Eli, do we have any other questions from the group?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we're just about ready to sign off then. And we've got one last question to see if we've got a prize for someone who hasn't gotten a hat already. We've talked a lot about RiverQuest Adventures and our programs and all of what they're about. Our last question for our chat line quiz is, when is the best time to sign up for the 2016 RiverQuest Spring and Summer Adventures?
You got an answer?
Yes.
Who was that one?
Congratulations, Mr. Keith Maurer. You are the winner of one of our brand new hats.
All right. And what was his answer?
Now.
Now is the time to sign up, so don't delay.
And we had another good question, and I'm glad whoever asked that question, it's a great one. They asked, can you sign up individually as a group? Okay. The answer is you can sign up individually, okay? Obviously, we've got to have enough individuals signed up along with 2 adults, at least 4 youth and 2 adults to go on the trip, on any one of our trips. So we have those folks signed up. That kind of gets us squared away and gets us enough to do it. So you can sign up individually, and again, first paid, first served. That way, if a whole troop wants to sign up, that's fine, but if somebody's already got one of the slots in that week, there's only 5 more slots left. So yes, you can sign up as an individual, and then if it turns out that we don't have the other people to go on the trip on the time that you want to go or you're able to go, then we'll give you a full refund of your $150 deposit. Or if you sign up for one of the weekend trips, we'll give you a full refund if we don't get the people to go on the trip that week. Okay?
Well, it sounds like we're coming to our end. We're going to have to wrap this up. So if you have any additional questions, please contact Brian Patterson. His email address is posted here, brianpatterson@scouting.org. Any other things you would like to add, Brian?
Well, you know, we're going to put everybody to work. We're going to be sending out our beautiful water bottles and patches from our offices on beautiful 521 South Edgewood Avenue in Jacksonville, Florida. Everybody that was in on the webinar, we've got a record of that. Everybody's going to get some of the cool scouting stuff. And I just appreciate what everybody does for scouting. Thank you for what you do week after week and day after day, because I love scouting and I know that you do too. And let's all work together to make a difference in the lives of young people.